Hey, what's going, y'all? It is yours truly once again. So, my thoughts on eye contact. Well, I've always been different. I've never been the type to really look at people right in the eye, whether personally or professionally. There's that saying that the eyes are the window to the soul. The eyes are. Now, you can't just put that aside professionally because if those eyes are the window to the soul, and you're in the professional world, the thing is, it's all about connection. You're having that person get inside your portal for a connection. So for me, it's all about being meaningful. If I'm gonna look at someone right in the eye, that's because I'm either trying to portray a certain, like I'm trying to bring a certain point home to you, or that we really have a connection. Usually, when you hear people talk about eye contact, it's usually from an alpha standpoint because it's about being the dominant one and things like that. You have to make sure they know where you're coming from. The funny thing is with me, I've had more quote domination per se from not looking at people, because the minute I started looking at people, it was like, oh wow, ooh. I had that certain look with a lot of females that I've dealt with, especially the ones that are real women, because I make the difference between the two. I make the difference between those two. When I'm dealing with like a real woman per se, and I look at her in the eyes, even though I don't do that a lot with her, she'll be like, Ray, the my eyes get her. When I start to look at her, they call me having them bedroom eyes per se. Now, with a typical female, when I'm looking at her in the eyes like that, she'll be like, will you stop staring at me like that? Like, it's really making me, like, uncomfortable. Like, it's really, like, freaking me out. Like, why are you, like, staring at me like that? They'll say that. Now, what's kind of helped me overall, though, is, I literally put on my Morpheus shades. And that kind of helps me get through the matrix. Because it's one thing for me to look into somebody's window, but what about, are they looking into my window? I don't want everybody to look into my window. That's why I don't look directly at everybody, because it's all about that connection. I want only certain people to look into my window. There's this video that I saw, and it was about a couple. They were like 50 or 60 years together per se, and they never looked at each other right in the eye, never. They only looked at each other's eyes per se from like a health standpoint to make sure each other was okay. But to look at each other directly in the eyes for that connection, that was rare for them. And I think it's rare overall. I think it's unnatural for people to look at each other in the eyes all the time. If I have pets, I'm not looking at them right in the eyes either, especially with a dog, because if you're looking at a dog a certain way and that dog don't know you, that dog is going to get really offended. You know what I'm saying? So you can only look directly into your dog because your dog knows who's the alpha. That's when you're looking at your dog. But even if it was my dog, I'm going to only look at my dog when I have something to tell that dog. If that dog misses me, if it's wagging its tail and it's looking at me, I'm going to look away while it's licking me in my face, because I don't want no dog licking me all over my face anyway. But like I said, if there's something I have to get across to that dog, sit, roll over, lay down. I'm going to look at the dog then, because now that dog knows, hey, look at me. I'm talking to you about something. So I'd say in the workplace, going back to that, because that kind of falls in line with taking orders per se, having someone looking at me in my eyes. Well, you have to be someone that is worthy, who's really good at being a manager and things like that. If I feel that someone ain't on their P's and Q's, I don't look at people like that. Basically, I've already quit it before they fired me. That's how I look at that. Because for me, I'm all about connection, even in the professional place. Basically, if I don't feel connected with people, even professionally, I'm not going to look at them in regards to sincerity. And it's definitely, not going to be something I look forward to doing if they try to address me about it. I'm like, what are you really after when you want people to look at you? Is it really something professional? Or is it just your pride of you knowing that somebody doesn't have that kind of respect for you? What really is it that you're trying to say about someone not looking at you in your eye when you're giving orders? Maybe you need to find out why they don't feel that connected to you, going back to that connection. So, but some people in the corporate world don't like to say the word connection. Well, it is. Without them working there, you don't eat. You might say you can hire 10 more people, but what if those 10 people don't make the cut after the 90-day evaluation? What if those 10 people do not make the cut after the 90-day evaluation? Some of them probably won't even make it through the 90 days. Some of them will not make it through the 90 days. So, but yeah, it goes on that realm. Even with cats. Now, cats do like to look at people right in the eye and look at them directly. But see, my form of quote unquote dominance over a cat is by not looking at the cat right in the eye either. Because even when that cat looks at me, I don't look at the cat right back. But when I do look at the cat knows. The cat knows. Even cats know. I'm more of a cat guy than a dog guy, but I do have certain dogs I like. If they're more cat-like. So, but yeah, one thing I want to leave y'all with, one more thing I want to leave y'all with, I have a lot of quote-unquote Native American in my background. It's Lakota. Yeah, Lakota Sioux. I have that in my background. And so what I've learned from a lot of their culture is that they don't look at each other directly either. And not only that, if they don't like you or you've done something to where they can't like you anymore, per se, they turn their back to you. So they take this whole not looking at a person a step further. So I've realized in my life, as I would call it, the current life, I've seen how certain gestures and certain postures really have an effect on people. Because if I'm not looking at you in the eye, that's one thing, as far as me not really having established a connection with you or not wanting to establish a connection with you. But then if I take it a step further and turn my back away from you, like my Lakota ancestors do, and like they have done and what the Lakota people probably still do now, if I turn my back from you, that really means I don't want to have a connection with you. So once again, I'll just repeat myself because I know I kind of stumbled a little bit. It's one thing for me not to look at you because I haven't had that kind of connection with you, or I really don't want that connection with you because the eyes are the window to the soul. But it's another thing altogether when I turn my back from you and all you see is my back. You know what I'm saying? But of course, in this day and age, because we got to keep some things modern, you never turn your back towards the enemy. And I don't have enemies. People make me their enemy. But what I do instead in this time, I don't necessarily turn my back away. I don't turn myself away to where they only see my back. I just only let them see my shoulder, per se. I walk sideways from them. Because I don't know what somebody could do behind my back. I got to watch out for that. You know what I'm saying? You got to stay on your B's and Q's. You know what I'm saying? You can't leave your back open. But I walk shoulders. I walk sideways from a person. Basically, I'm standing perpendicular to them. And I do that on the regular. Like if it's somebody that I don't know, I stand perpendicular to them because I'm not trying to establish that kind of connection with them. Therefore, there's no eye contact. And I'm not really... we just ain't like that. So I just stand perpendicular. Now, of course, in the Western society here, everybody always want to come up to you. Hey, how's it going? My name's such and such. Nice to meet you. They want to shake your hand. They want to look at you right in the eye, all that stuff. But you go over to Japan, they don't do that. They don't like people walking up to them like that. They don't know you unless you're lost or something. They don't like you coming up to them like that because that's like a disturbing their space. You're being disrespectful to them. It's just best you not say anything to them at all because they don't really know you. They don't have no connection with you. You know what I'm saying? So I think more I guess I think more Japanese than American. Let's put it that way. And there's another thing Japanese don't do that Americans do, or the Western people do. Most Japanese do not say, I love you. They show you that love. Love is a verb. But yeah, they don't say, I love you. They just show you that. It's a deeper connection. So I'm just really trying to get y'all on a different realm of how you can move and groove out here in this world. Only establish or have some type of eye contact with people that you really know, with people that you are truly connected with. Them are the only people that you really have a certain eye contact with, whether personally or professionally. Everybody else, just give them the shoulder, literally. The cold shoulder. Maybe not too cold, but you know what I mean. Hey, you can also dust off your shoulder with them. You can pop your collar on your shoulder too. So just my thoughts on eye contact. Signing out.